When I set out for Lyonnesse, 100 miles away, the rime was on the spray, and starlight lit my lonesomeness when I set out for Lyonnesse, 100 miles away. What would perchance at Lyonnesse while I should sojourn there no prophet durst declare? Nor did the wisest wizard guess what would perchance at Lyonnesse while I should sojourn there. When I came back from Lyonnesse with magic in my eyes, all marked with mute surmise my radiance rare and fathomless, when I came back from Lyonnesse with magic in my eyes.
Well, the relationship between Thomas Hardy and his young cousin Fina Sparks has come to an end. And so Hardy is single, he's lonesome, we hear it in the poem. And he's now got an architectural commission to go and work on a church. But Owen, tell us, where is that church that he's going to go and work on?
Well, the church is in Cornwall, but he calls it Lyonnesse, which is a very ancient name for a lost land that lies between the Scilly Isles and Land's End, and it's sort of sunken beneath the sea. And he's picking up on a lot of these words from this mystical land. He uses the word magic, he uses the word wizard, and I think he's really thinking about Cornwall and all its fabulous stories.
Mark, there's a transition in Hardy's life here, but there's also a journey, and there's a transition in his skill as a poet.
Yes, I think this poem is very much about a journey, setting out for Cornwall to meet, obviously, Emma Lavinia Gifford. When I set out for Lyonnesse, 100 miles away, the rime was on the spray. We've got really the landscape of Cornwall being mentioned. But within each stanza, which is a very regular structure to the stanza, we have a change, a narrative change. So when I set out for Lyonnesse in stanza 1, so that journey begins. Stanza 2, what would perchance at Lyonnesse? Well, I should sojourn there. So what's going to happen when I get to Cornwall? Will I meet someone? What will happen? And then, of course, we get the last stanza, when I came back from Lyonnesse. So Hardy returning to Dorset with magic in my eyes. He's met Emma. And, you know, we've got all these wonderful images of Cornwall here. We've got, nor did the wisest wizard guess. We've got wizardry. We've got magic. Everything that we think about in terms of Arthurian legend, perhaps, as well. But this journey of love. And I think this poem really marks a change in the maturity of style in Hardy's writing. It's really stepping up now to a real shift of some of the most famous poems in the Hardy canon.
And he's using the iambics to get this journey across?
Yes, it's almost mirroring the train journeys away. I think the rhythms of this poem, the iambics, is something that really reminds me of childhood, because this was read to me as a child by my mother.
Well, that was the very first of our poems about Thomas Hardy's relationship with Emma, who was to become his first wife. And we'll be hearing many more poems about that in the next few videos. But now let's hear As I Set Out for Lyonnesse once again.
When I set out for Lyonnesse, 100 miles away, the rime was on the spray, and starlight lit my lonesomeness when I set out for Lyonnesse, 100 miles away. What would perchance at Lyonnesse while I should sojourn there no prophet durst declare? Nor did the wisest wizard guess what would perchance at Lyonnesse while I should sojourn there. When I came back from Lyonnesse with magic in my eyes, all marked with mute surmise my radiance rare and fathomless, when I came back from Lyonnesse with magic in my eyes.